But we're about to find out. We left them soaking. See if they can come off. Play nice with us. This is part of an old kit that I had, an old press kit. It's not supposed to work something like this, but it's doing the job. We just need this to shoot out that upper bushing on the on this casing here. So, let's see if we can get probably flip it around a minute and see if I can get the bottom side of it better. Yeah, it looks like it's moving. I thought I saw it bounce a little bit. It's walking. Cool. Whew. Hey everybody, this is Saul Castaneda with Mcscgreenwheels at home, and you just saw me butcher up this bushing, and just getting right back into it, what we did when we started taking apart this differential casing here, getting it ready for powder coating, and more likely we're going to the one, the only, Mr. Goggin, back out there at All-Star Coatings. So we're just gonna knock off this other side real quick. As you could tell, I am sweating. And we're going to take off the pinion. Unfortunately, I cannot find my bearing puller, so we'll take care of those later. But for right now, we're going to finish this guy up, get it ready, get all the grease off, and get ready to ship it out. The way to knock these out, I know probably somebody just punches these things out, or we have that, what do you call it, that bearing wheel, or that ball joint press. But right now, like I said, I'm at home, and one of the things that sucks the most is I don't get to bring my tools home, so they stay at the shop. So right now I'm doing what I can. Not a big hammer, but you know what? Hey, a little bit more sweat just getting it off. So let's carry on here. Man, it's moving pretty good. Oh yeah, she's walking. It is walking. Cool. Now, due to the fact that we're going to send it out to powder coating, that's why we knock these guys off, because they can't, you know, they got to cook this thing. Not only that, they're going to sandblast it first, knock off all this excess rust and everything, get it down to a bare metal. Then they're going to give it a chemical bath just to make sure that they clean up all the grease and all the impurities and that will not allow the paint to stick. Then they put it in the oven for about 40 minutes or 35, and they heat it up to about 450 degrees. They keep it in there about 30-35 minutes. Then it comes out and it goes in for a primer, goes back in, and then comes back out again. Goes in for another 20 minutes in the oven, and then comes back out again, and then gets the coat of paint put on there. And then we just set it back in the oven for another 30 minutes, and then it comes out to cool, which is about half an hour's worth of time, maybe an hour. Don't want to touch that stuff, but most definitely going to knock these out. And we're going to go with our spherical ones that we used for our build Sergeant Reckless, which is our 93 GT. We're going to be eliminating those because at the moment we're dismantling that car because we're going to be putting a torque arm bar and a pan arm bar to it as well. So doing that, we'll be removing the upper control arms, quad shocks. That's going to be eliminated. So guess who's getting them? So they were brand new, never used, so might as well do something with them. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take off the spherical bushings that they were, I wanna say they were billet style spherical bushings, 2-piece or 3-piece. And we're gonna go ahead and install them in here once we get him back from powder coating. So now let's knock off this pinion. We should be able to rock and roll, just to clean it up a little bit better. Good old impact. Had that thing for years. Rearrange this a little better. Perfect. We're going to be replacing this too. We got the better one for Reckless. So when we take apart the rear end to do the torque arm bar, we got to redo the inside, retorque all that, the caps, because we're going to redo this guy right here on Reckless. We got a brand new one for him. Just a little bit better. I mean, seems the same, seems thicker, but it's just shiny, cleaner, and I'm not going to go ahead and clean this. So now that we got this guy out, get our hole in here to come out too. So I don't want to damage it. I know I'm probably not going to use this, but who knows? You never know. So I may be looking for something like this. Voila! One pinion out. So looks good. Looks real damn good actually. So it's just, we'll hold on to it. We'll see what we do with it. Kind of like the whole thing on why we call each other, or what we call ourselves, Green Wheels. Part of it, what it was, is the restoration of, you know, keep using the old stuff. We don't, you could just rebuild it. You could rebuild some of these calipers. We have a new caliper set that's going to be going on this guy. It's a 94 Cobra setup for brakes. It's the caliper and then the 11.65 rotors that we're going to be using for them too. So part of what we do at Green Wheels is kind of refurbish the old stuff. If we can use it and rebuild it, we will. Kind of like how we do when we buy on eBay and our Facebook Marketplace. When we go on there and we look for stuff, you know, we don't necessarily need it new if it's working fine. So that's what we do. So once this guy gets off the paint, we're more likely going to send all our caliper stuff along with it too. So as you can tell, we got the new, we may not use these brackets because we got the SN95 style ones that we're going to use for him. And just do a little bit more math to see what the axles we're going to run on this guy. More likely a 31 spline Moser axle. So we'll go from there, and I guess I'll knock off the race from the inside and these seals. So let's see if we can do that. Bam. Oh, it's, I'm going to leave the races in, so just in case they coat in there, I can knock those out and I don't get any coating where the races are going to go. Because if that's in there, then we're going to have to do additional scraping. And once it gets back from coating, you really don't want to go through the trouble of moving this guy around too much. You just want to get it assembled, installed, and get it done. You know, you start messing around with it, and you know, you might drop a tool on it, chip the paint off the coating again. It's a hassle. So yeah, I'm gonna leave these guys in, and when he gets back from coating, we'll go ahead and remove them. That way we don't get any kind of paint in the inside. Even though I know they cover this, I don't always think that, I always know that some kind of sand or dirt gets in here. So what we have here is the 94 Cobra rear end brackets. These are your brake brackets, and these right here, these little bad boys right here, are called the anti-moan bracket. For a lot of people that want to think that you don't need these, You kind of do. You'll hear the car kind of moan every time you either back up and you hit the brake. It just vibrates. So these guys kind of sit on your differential and then just kind of buckle up with this guy underneath. So it's just kind of a clamp where we're going to send them out. I mean, they're pretty pitted, but I mean, we're going to go ahead and see, send them out, get them treated. Hopefully they come back looking good and strong. They won't give way, but they're going to tighten down to a degree. They're not supposed to be like completely, fastened down. Gotta give them a little. Along with that, we're sending our calipers, which we're gonna remove. We took these guys apart for our '93 GT Foxbody. We did a video on there. It's in one of our videos, probably the first ones, and we showed how to remove these guys. A lot of times, what we use, we just take off the screw and then just feed it air, and piston pops off. You take off these little grommets and rubbers. We use a zip tie. We go around the whole thing, zip tie this, pop it off, take the screw. This little assembly comes apart. There's a seal right on the inside of here that you guys got to watch out for. So be sure to, before you take these apart, you guys can find the kits for them. I've looked around at your local stores. I've been unsuccessful with that. So most likely it's going to come from one of the specialty stores, Summit, LMR, CJ Pony, Jegs. Check all those out. They shouldn't cost you no more than about 25 bucks. And so yeah, we're gonna replace these bleeder screws as well. As you can tell, they're pretty cruddy, because the last thing we want to do is put a broken or messed up bleeder screw. When we send out this differential, we're gonna have all done the same color by our good friend Mr. Goggin. And as you can tell, like, we removed this bushing. Now with this guy, that the reason we're going to the spherical, this rubber here is what kind of gives you a lot of play. It kind of makes the rear end dance a lot. This is what wears out, this rubber right here. That's the reason it's a good idea to get rid of this. Either go to the polyurethane or the spherical. You're going to pay more for the spherical, believe me. It will be better, more bang for your buck, and it's like you don't have to service it. Once in a while, get a good look at it. Other than that, it should be always solid. The objective is keep this thing on the ground, keep those tires in contact. Well, I want to say thanks to everybody on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I want to thank everyone for following us. Please keep following. Please keep subscribing. Leave us a comment. Let us know what I did wrong, because I'm pretty sure I did something wrong. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you soon. Remember, subscribe, and the next video is coming up. Have a good night, guys.